Hey, everybody. I have Chris White with us today, and he is just wrapping up a really cool project. I know you're always probably in the midst of a lot of cool things, but he has a studio based out of Greenville, Studio 15. And we were looking out the windows of our 7 News studios, a camper down in Greenville, and we saw this crazy thing. We saw what we thought was Fred Armisen, and it turns out we were not wrong. It was Fred Armisen doing a movie with you, or a film, a longer music video, like 8 minutes or so? Talk about it.
Yeah, it's probably more of a short film than a music video, though it is built around a song from a film soundtrack for a film that I directed in 2021, Electric Jesus. The band Danielson performs a song called "Come and Save Me," and just various circumstances came together last fall where it just became possible for us to shoot a music video in Greenville with, yes, that Fred Armisen.
That is
From Saturday Night
amazing.
Live at Portlandia and everything. And I just think it's so funny. You sent me that footage, and I'm like, it was so weird because I've not seen any of the footage of us shooting. I mean, we had some behind the scenes photography, I guess, but just watching that, like even watching it right now, like, I mean, these are my guys. We're all making the thing. There's Fred. That's probably one of his first takes. Oh, there's me standing there. Like,
And
it's
then
just, I love it.
we have a shot too coming up where he walks in, and then you're kind of coaching him, I guess, on how you want him to go down the stairs. But
Oh
talk
man.
talk a little bit about, so we're seeing him kind of creep down the stairs, looking like he's struggling. What is this music video about?
Well, it's about a guy who's actually a lot about kind of like a lot of us who work remote, or especially post pandemic, found ourselves more isolated than we
Hmm.
were before, where jobs are on screens and food is delivered. And if you do it right, or maybe do it wrong, you never leave the house.
Yeah.
So Hugo, which is the character that Fred plays, has got his like perfect life going up in his apartment, and he is compelled in magical ways to maybe try being a human out in the world. And so these scenes we're shooting is it's a silent thing, because it's a music video, so it's all
Sure.
silent. So he's doing, I mean, we're looking for some physical comedy of him like trying to learn how to be a person in space. So he's at that point he's trying to walk and seem really normal.
This is
And he's
crazy.
failing.
And,
Yeah.
and you came up with this, like you wrote the story. I mean, did the did
Yeah.
the band did the band have a concept and say, "Hey, help us write this out or figure this out"?
No, I just had worked with them on the movie, and I've become friends with Daniel Smith,
Okay.
who's kind of the founder of Danielson. And
Yeah.
just over time, I
There
just,
you are, coaching him down
oh,
the
there I am.
steps.
I'm just saying, please ignore the fact that I'm not worthy to be in your presence, Mr. Armisen.
How
I
was he to
remember,
work with? Did you really
oh,
enjoy
he was
enjoy it?
he was he was a jewel. He was so great. And that this footage is like the first day, and I had just met him. Like, he dressed in the hotel room. He had gotten in late the night before. He came to set, and when he walked up, I was like, "Oh man, there's Fred. Be professional. Be serious. Okay, that's Fred. That's Fred." And he comes out. And he had these sunglasses on, and he flipped them up, and he looked at me and said, "Hey, this is what I look like."
That's cool.
And I found it very disarming and hilarious, and we were off to the races after that.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. I mean, we've
Yeah.
all many people remember him, of course, from SNL and so many other projects. But the thing I didn't know about is he's a musician. I mean, he's got a
Oh
band,
yeah.
right? He's performing, and I had no idea about that.
Yeah, he
So,
was he was a rock and roll drummer. He was in several bands before he was known as a comedian. And in
mhm.
fact, the thing that really propelled him into comedy is he made a kind of a spoofy, satirical video, like behind the scenes interviewing bands at different rock festivals. And he was playing like a weird character and everything. But that little video sort of caught on, and a lot of people saw it, and that led to him becoming one of the, I think one of the greatest SNL cast members of all time. He was
Yeah.
just on SNL last week with Ryan Gosling, no, with the one before Gosling, the Five Timers. Anyway, he was just, Kristen Wiig. He was just a
Yeah.
guest on that. So, and he still will show up and play drums for Seth Meyers,
Really.
on late night. But right now, even Fred's on tour. He's playing clubs and he does a music show. And good news for Greenville, one thing he did tell me and didn't say it was a secret, so I can tell everybody, he just
Great.
so fell in love with the Upstate. And he said,
Great.
I should play here. And I'm like, yes, you should. And he's like, okay, so, he was telling me venue specs and everything. And I'm like, well, you need to call this place. He said, I'm going to tell my booking agent, I got to come play Greenville. And I
Good.
even said, oh, isn't Asheville cooler, or Athens, or, shouldn't you go play in a cooler place? Because this place is great. So,
It is a great place.
so
What
I,
kind
not
and
that I
our
was,
music oh, I know. And our music scene is really getting ready to explode, but you want the film scene to explode here, and especially in the upstate,
yeah,
because right, Charleston gets a lot, other
they
parts of
do.
the state get a lot, but it hasn't really happened for us, but you made it start to happen.
Well, Emily, my wife and I produced with Emily Reach White, and we like living here.
Yeah,
I've raised a family here. Like I have no reason to move. I can get on a plane and go to New York or California or Atlanta or whatever. I can get wherever. And we've been in Georgia producing. We've been in California. We've been to other places and
sure.
produced things. But
Right.
isn't it better? Like, what if you could just sleep in your? I remember while we were doing this with Fred, just waking up in your own house,
Nice.
having your coffee and going to work in your own town, which to most people is like, that's what jobs are. That's what it's like. It's like,
Right, of
oh,
course.
for
Yeah.
film people, we're carnies. We travel
Yeah.
to work.
Yeah.
And I think right now, maybe I feel more hopeful than ever. I've heard talk of Hollywood production coming to the Upstate since I was at Furman in the 90s. I've
Sure.
heard that forever. But I really think some things are in place now, infrastructure wise, with crews and with post production capabilities that,
Right.
and the way production is changing. We shot at Prompt Studios on one of those LED Unreal Engine walls like they use on The Mandalorian. Like, we have the real stuff here. We just need to get, and we have a great film incentive in South Carolina, not just
Sure.
for the production companies, but also for people who invest in movies. People don't
Right.
know about it. There's an incredible tax incentive if you invest in a movie in South Carolina. And so that's something that, that's the story that Emily and I like to tell people as we're developing projects here in the Upstate.
We like to say, "Come on down," or
Yes,
over,
yes,
or whatever, wherever you are, come to us.
yeah, yeah,
Let's talk about this film, a music video. I keep calling it a
yeah,
film, but it's 8 minutes. So it's a significant piece of work. It's
yeah.
previewing in Spartanburg on
That's right.
Friday night. We're taping this on a Thursday. It is happening Friday night, the 19th of April, and then
Yes.
it debuts later in New York City, right?
Yeah, yeah. So, okay, so the film is for everybody to see on the Electric Jesus YouTube channel on April 26th. If you just
Okay.
go to YouTube, type in Electric Jesus, that's our film from 2021, the soundtrack that this song came from, you'll find us. That's where
Okay.
you can see the trailer, the teaser trailer for this, and everything
Sure.
is out. Um, the thing they're doing in Spartanburg, which is so cool, the Tryon International Film Festival is sponsoring a night of, they're going to show 8 short films that were produced in the upstate of South Carolina as part of a fundraiser for their film festival. And that's happening at the Chapman Cultural Center,
Okay.
6 o'clock Friday night. I believe tickets are still available, and they're very affordable. They're just $25, and they
That's
include,
right.
like, the fancy hors d'oeuvres and wine and all the stuff you get for, going to the event. And this will actually, we're basically giving the Upstate a sneak peek before
Right.
it premieres at the Mockingbird Conference in New York City on the
So
27th.
cool.
So, or on the
It's
26th.
exciting.
So
Yeah, it's
yeah, so
exciting.
yeah, man, I can't wait to get out to Spartanburg tomorrow night and just hang out with my fellow South Carolina filmmakers, but also just, man, I get to see Come and Save Me with Fred Armisen and Danielson in front of a big crowd, and it's fun to see it on a big screen.
Oh,
So I'm
sure.
excited about that.
Well, we're excited for you, and we were so excited. Had I realized everything at the moment, I would have come out there but I
I
always take
wish
things.
you had. I
I know. I
wish you
wish I
had,
did
because
too.
now you're a stalker. You realize this video is weird stalker footage.
I know, and I've had it since the fall. I've been holding on to
Good
this
on you.
exclusive
I
video.
think that's great.
Yeah.
You're a real professional stalker, long term. Keep it. But if I had been out there at work and I saw Fred Armisen, you better believe my camera would have been out too. So,
Absolutely.
but yeah, I love this. I'm just looking at all of us. That's all my favorite people, all my crew out there working on
Yeah.
Save me. Oh,
Well,
how
and
cool.
I will say for the Hollywood folks that are the future filmmakers that are coming to our area to use your production studio, and I know you worked with another studio too, or another group in
Yeah,
town,
so
right? You collaborated.
yeah, Studio 15 is we're just a production company, and then Cargo is as an agency, like a production or an advertising agency,
Okay.
marketing agency that has a really strong production department. And then we shot over at Prunk Studios, also EP and Co. Their fabrication unit, the people that make like props and scenery and stuff, they worked. It was truly like a collaboration of so many great talented people, not just individuals that were on our crew, but companies in town that really want to see real production,
Yeah.
television shows or movies that we see on streaming and in the theaters. This was like all hands on deck, and it couldn't have gone better. And I should add, it's not just Fred Armisen in this video. It's Andy Marie Tillman,
Oh
who,
wow.
if you're on social media, a lot of people know Andy Marie. She's out of Nashville. She's hilarious. She's also in the video, so she's an up and coming rising star as well. So we're
That's
happy that we're
wonderful.
working with Andy Marie and brought her to Nashville. And I bet there'll be some people that'll freak out that Andy Marie was even in Greenville. So
I know. I didn't get in. Did I get video of her? I don't think I did.
she was there that day, but we didn't shoot. We shot her after the
Oh,
shot. We left here and we shot her.
darn. I
Yeah,
missed
she
it.
was probably in wardrobe when we were doing this.
So I failed as a stalker, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, no, well, you're making up for it a year
Half
later,
and half,
or
yeah.
half a year
Hey,
later.
yes. Oh, it's great. And there's the shot of the what you should look for
Yeah,
the video
the poster.
debut.
That's right.
And we do appreciate you so much for being on and wish you the best of luck. I mean, this is going to be a really fun thing to see come to life on all of our favorite YouTube channels and everywhere else. And we look forward to seeing you again and hearing about new and exciting projects in the upstate.
Yeah, thank you. And I think this story of Come and Save Me, I think it'll really move a lot of people, and it
Yeah.
really encourages all of us to reach out to other people and in community help love and accept and bring people together. And because there's a lot of lonely people or a lot of isolated people post pandemic right now, and it kind of encourages us, all of us to kind of maybe step out and help each other. So I like the message of the film too.
I'm excited to see it. Chris, thank you
Yeah,
so much. Take
thank
care.
you.